Welcome back to the channel, I'm Colin. Today we are comparing the 7Hz Divine with the Kiwi Ears Aether. Since I have already covered the Kiwi Ears Aether, it makes sense to put these head to head because they occupy a very specific niche in the market. Both of these are large planar IEMs. We are looking at a massive 15.3mm driver in the Aether and a 14.5mm driver in the Divine, both marketed to bring a fuller, more engaging listening experience to an in-ear monitor. Before we get into the sound, let's talk about what comes in the box. If you're interested in the packaging and the unboxing of the Kiwi Ears Aether, I've already covered that in detail, so definitely check out my previous review link below. The 7Hz Divine comes with a massive zippered carrying case featuring a prominent 7Hz logo. While the case itself is premium and well made, it's not the most practical for daily use. It's essentially the same size as the retail box, meaning it will never fit in a jeans pocket. It's great for storage or throwing in a backpack, but it lacks the portability I usually look for in an IEM case. As for the cable, it is an incredibly thick and well-built mini jack cable. It feels heavy duty, almost like something you would find on a full-sized pair of headphones. While some people will love this overbuilt feel and the sheer quality of materials, I personally prefer thinner, more supple cables for long-term comfort. This one definitely has some weight to it. I would also prefer a modular plug or a balanced plug. The Divine comes with 8 pairs of silicone tips, 5 pairs in opaque or clear that has a wider bore, and 3 pairs in blue that have a narrower bore. Personally, I think the medium-sized blue tips fit my ears best. On paper, these two share a lot of DNA. However, their physical builds take very different paths. The 7Hz Divine features an all-metal construction that feels incredibly robust. It also has a noticeably longer nozzle, which helps in achieving a deeper, more secure fit for those who prefer it. The Kiwi Ears Aether, on the other hand, has a resin build. While the body is resin, it doesn't feel cheap. It has a relatively short metal nozzle and a matte metal bezel surrounding the faceplate. While both feel substantial in the ear, I actually like the fit of the Divine more. When you put them side by side, you can see that the Aether is both thicker and larger than the Divine. I had problems fitting the Aether in my ears due to the short nozzle, so I had to use aftermarket spin fit tips for the Aether. But on the Divine, it fits very well in my ears, and isolation is excellent. I think the Divine isolates significantly better than the Aether. I prefer the Divine for its fit and isolation. If we take a look at the measurements, the most striking thing is how similar these two are from 20 Hz up to 1 kHz. They share a nearly identical bass shelf and mid-range transition. However, the frequency response reveals major differences once we move up into the upper registry. Regarding the pinna gain area, while both follow a similar target, the 7Hz Divine actually has a more forward rise towards the 2.5 kHz to 3 kHz region. On the graph, you can see the Divine peaking slightly higher here, which explains why the vocals feel more in your face and intimate during actual listening. The Kiwi Ears Aether takes a more conservative approach, slightly more recessed approach to the ear gain, which physically moves the stage further away from the listener and creates that greater sense of perceived depth. Moving into the lower treble, the Aether shows more energetic peaks in the 5 kHz to 8 kHz range. This treble energy will likely provide an extra sparkle, but they also indicate where the sibilance can creep into the mix. The Divine's treble plot is visibly flatter and more conservative, which generally suggests a smoother, more natural decay of high-frequency notes. While both drivers extend well past 10 kHz, the Divine maintains a more conservative roll-off in treble energy, whereas the Aether becomes a little more peaky past the 15 kHz region. The most immediate difference when switching between these two in practice is the sense of space. The 7Hz Divine offers a more intimate and neutral presentation that puts the singer closer to you. In contrast, the Kiwi Ears Aether feels slightly more pulled back, creating a greater sense of depth and a wider soundstage that makes the Divine feel a bit more forward by comparison. Imaging-wise, I think the Divine is more precise and accurate, while the Aether has more width. This makes the Divine the better choice for gaming, where pinpointing sound cues is critical, as it feels sharper and more localized. The Aether gives you that vast, expansive feel and slightly better layering in the stage, but the Divine is where you go for technical precision. If you value absolute precision and accuracy in your music or gaming, the Divine is the clear choice here. This difference in space carries over into how the frequencies are presented. If you are a treble head, the Aether is going to give you more of that sparkle and air, and kind of gives you an extended treble decay. However, that comes at a cost. I found the Aether could occasionally lean into sibilance, specifically with harsh S sounds. The Divine takes a smoother approach where the treble decay is slightly shorter and more natural. When it comes to the low end, both IEMs are actually very similar in terms of punch and depth. You get consistent, quick, and controlled high-quality planar bass response from both. However, in actual listening, the Divine often feels it has a bit more bass quantity. This isn't necessarily because the driver is tuned louder in the lows, but I think it is due to the overall balance. Because the Divine has a less aggressive treble presentation than the Aether, the low end is allowed to stand out more. Despite their similar large planar nature and similar overall tuning, these two offer slightly different flavors in their presentation. While both are analytical and relatively neutral IEMs, the 7Hz Divine is the truer choice, staying closer to the original recording with a grounded and realistic presentation. But if you're looking for something more exciting, the Kiwi Ears Aether provides that extra wow factor with its slightly more sparkly tuning and the exaggerated sense of soundstage and depth. This makes the Aether a fantastic pick for those who want that larger-than-life feel, especially in live recordings, while the Divine is better suited for listeners who want an IEM that faithfully and honestly reproduces music. Which of these planar IEMs do you prefer or sounds right for you? Let me know in the comments.